New Lands, by Charles Hoyfort, Part 2, Chapter 29d. The earliest of accounts that I have read of the quakes in the general region of Worcester and Hereford, London Triangle, that associated with appearances in the sky, was published by two churchwardens in the year 1661, as to occurrences of October, 1661, and is entitled, A True and Perfect Relation of the Terrible Earthquake. It is said that monstrous flaming things were seen in the sky, and that phenomena below were interesting. We are told, truly and perfectly, that Mrs. Margaret Petmore fell in labour and brought forth 3 male offspring, all of whom had teeth and spoke at birth. Inasmuch as it is not recorded what the infants said, and whether in plain English or not, it is not so much an extraordinary birth such as, in one way or another, occurs from time to time, that affronts our conventional notions, as it is the idea that there could be relation between the abnormal in obstetrics and the unusual in terrestrics. The conventional scientist has just this reluctance towards considering shocks of this earth and phenomena in the sky at the same time. If he could accept with us that there often has been relation, the seeming discord would turn into commonplace. But with us he would never again want to hear of extraordinary detonating meteors exploding only by coincidence over a part of this earth where an earthquake was occurring, or of concussions of this earth, time after time, in one small region, from meteors that, only by coincidence, happened to explode in one little local sky, time after time. Give up the idea that this earth moves, however, and coincidences many times repeated do not have to be lugged in. Our subject now is the supposed earthquake centering around Worcester and Hereford, December 17, 1896, but there may have been related events, leading up to this climax, signifying long duration of something in the sky that occasionally manifested relatively to this corner of the London Triangle. Mrs. Margaret Petmore was too sensational a person for our liking, at least in her colder and more nearly scientific moments, so we shall not date so far back as the time of her performance. But the so-called earthquakes of October 6, 1863, and of October 30, 1868, were in this region, and we had data for thinking that they were said to be earthquakes only because they could not be traced to terrestrial explosions. At 5:45 p.m., November 2, 1893, a loud sound was heard at a place 10 miles northeast of Worcester, and no shock was felt. Nature, Volume 49, page 245. However, at Worcester and in various parts of the west of England and in Wales a shock was felt. According to James G. Wood, writing in Simmons' Meteorological Magazine, Volume 29, page 8, at 9:30 p.m., January 25, 1894, at Lanthomas and Clifford, towns less than 20 miles west of Hereford, a brilliant light was seen in the sky, an explosion was heard, and a quake was felt. Half an hour later, something else occurred. According to Denning, Nature, Volume 49, page 325, it was in several places, near Hereford and Worcester, supposed to be an earthquake. But, at Stokes Vicarage, Shropshire, Simmons' Meteorological Magazine, Volume 29, page 8, was seen the same kind of an appearance as that which had been seen at Lanthomas and Clifford, half an hour before. An illumination so brilliant that for half a minute everything was almost as visible as by daylight.